My guy, like, all right, cool. Y'all want me to fight over that? Send me something first.
Yeah.
Send me something first.
Right.
I don't gotta fight. You know why fighters going over there? Because they can't sell here. I can sell here. So I ain't gotta go over there.
Right.
What they making over there, I'm making here.
Right, Gervonta Davis has always been known for his unfiltered honesty, but his recent words have left fans questioning his commitment to the sport over the past several months. Davis has made it clear that his frustration with boxing runs deep, whether it was his infamous statement boxing is trash or his public feud with Turki. The cracks in Davis's love for the sport seem more visible than ever.
25 is at the next year. I'm out of it.
What's more, the heat surrounding his absence from the prestigious Ring Magazine Awards only added fuel to the fire. The Ring Magazine Awards, often called the Oscars of boxing, gathered some of the biggest names in the sport in London.
He feel like he got the power because he got the cash. So it's like, let me on everybody else type shit. Let me take. But he's, I mean, I don't know. You can't.
Stars like Alexander Usyk and Evander Holyfield graced the event with prominent young talents like Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, and Devin Haney in attendance. But Tank was noticeable missing, sparking widespread speculation. Many questioned why a fighter of his caliber would be excluded, and Davis himself took to social media to express his anger. The target of is none other than Turki, the Saudi Arabian sports magnate and owner of the ring. For Tank, the snub was symbolic of larger issues in the sport. He's been vocal about his disdain for boxing's politics and the increasing commercialization that has shifted the focus away from fighters and fans. Boxing is just too much politics. Davis has said it's not about the fighters anymore. It's about people who don't even care about the sport making the decisions. His frustration seems rooted in a belief that the sport's integrity is being eroded by outside forces, and his tense history with Alec has only deepened his disillusionment.
Well, it looks like Turkey on the sheet. Maybe buying PBC. Up to $1 billion in debt. So Gervonta Davis talking about he needs 2 Ferraris. Let's just say he's going to be calling himself Abdul Wahid.
The relationship between Davis and Alec appears to have soured over a series of failed negotiations. Davis has now revealed that Sheikh approached him with offers to participate in a high-profile event in Saudi Arabia, part of the country's effort to attract big-name fighters to its shores. But Tank was clear from the start that he wasn't going to make it easy in a move that some saw as audacious and others as shrewd. Davis demanded 2 Ferraris just to consider sitting down to negotiate.
Excellency over there in Saudi Arabia, he got it going on. I'm going to go ahead and say it. He just may be the savior of boxing. It's reported that he wants Tank Davis in Saudi.
To many, the Ferrari request might have seemed over the top, but Davis's demand wasn't simply about luxury. It was about asserting his worth in an industry he believes is increasingly skewed toward those with deep pockets, rather than a genuine passion for the sport. They think they can throw money at you, and that's enough, Davis explained. But for me, it's not just about the money, it's about respect. And I didn't feel respected. Alec, for his part, responded to the request with a mix of humor and defiance, saying, "We'll send you 2 gloves if you want that as."
No. Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. What you think about that?
Oh,
Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready.
I need 3 now.
Yeah.
Davis's reluctance to agree to earlier this year. There's too much drama, too much trash, and not enough focus on what really matters. His words at the time were dismissed by some as frustration from a fighter at the height of his career. But as the months have passed, it's become clear that his concerns run deeper. The feud with Sheikh and the Ring Magazine snub seemed to have crystallized many of the issues Tank has with the sport. For Davis, the Saudi Arabian influence in boxing epitomizes the problems he sees, while many fighters have embraced the influx of money and the opportunity for massive paydays. Davis remains skeptical. It's all about who can pay the most now. He said they don't care about the fights, the fans, or the fighters. It's just about the money.
Well, my experience with Turkey has been, a pleasure. Everything has been straight down the line. Everything's been good. The conversation's been great.
His skepticism isn't shared by everyone. However, some argue that the money flowing into boxing from places like Saudi Arabia has revitalized the sport, creating new opportunities for fighters and attracting broader audiences for many fighters the chance to secure life-changing paychecks is reason enough to overlook concerns about commercialization, but Davis sees things differently. For him, the principle of the sport are at stake. I worked hard to get where I am. This isn't just about a paycheck for me, it's about what boxing stands for, he said.
Martin press conference, it looked like you were talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything?
Davis's frustrations with Alec go beyond money. The pressure he felt to agree to terms, coupled with what he described as a lack of genuine respect, left a bitter taste. They made it clear they wanted me, and they were willing to do whatever to get me, but it felt forced. It wasn't about the fights or the fans, it was about their agenda. Tank said this sentiment has been echoed in his broader criticisms of boxing, where he believes fighters are often treated as pawns in a larger game. Adding to the complexity of the situation is Davis's contentious relationship with other fighters and his willingness to call out what he sees as flaws in the system. Is back and forth with Terrence Crawford, for instance, underscored the financial dynamics that often dominate discussions in boxing. After Crawford commented on Davis's frustrations, Tank fired back by comparing their earnings, a move that highlighted the growing emphasis on money over merit in the sport.
I know he feel like how I feel when I be wanting to see them big fights be made. He got the money to throw it at everybody so they can shut up talking about their money.
Self in as the middleman to get the job done.
Shakur Stevenson, another top fighter, also weighed in on the Davis-Alec feud. Stevenson suggested that Alec might eventually offer Davis an irresistible deal to bring him to Saudi Arabia, underscoring the influence the Saudi Sports Authority wields. But for Davis, the issue isn't just about the size of the check, it's about preserving what he sees as the essence of boxing. Tank's growing disenchantment with the sport has led some to speculate that he may be considering stepping away altogether. Earlier this year, he shocked fans by hinting at retirement, saying, "Sometimes I feel like I've done enough."
Hey, look, the PBC is going down. That's why he's hanging his head low. Tank, quote unquote, is retiring, but it's not from boxing, bro. When he said he was out, he didn't even say from the sport first. He out of PBC. Like, he don't even want to have no connection for them, bro. Any connections with them. So, hey, he gonna try to get the bag with Turki Al-Sheikh. He'll probably have about 4 fights after the 3 fights this upcoming year, which I'm hopeful for because I'm a Tank fan.
While many dismissed the comments at the time as ongoing frustrations in his feud with Alec, have given those words new weight. Dan's latest criticisms of Turki Alec and the Saudi influence in boxing have sparked fierce debates in the sport. While some view Davis's comments as a much-needed voice of reason, others see them as nothing more than a display of bitterness over perceived slights, adding more fire to the controversy. Former champion and commentator Tim Bradley has openly backed Davis, praising his unapologetic stance and doubling down on his own skepticism toward the commercialization of boxing.
That's why I respect Tank. Hey, Tank, you got a new fan, dog. You got a new fan. You a real one, dog. As of late, you've been showing me you a real one. I like that. Yes, you've been showing me that you are a real one. Now, if you go over there and
Tank's recent out Garcia and Haney adding insult to injury. Garcia is currently serving a suspension for testing positive for Osterine. The fact that Garcia's victory over Haney was overturned into a no contest only amplified Davis's feelings of disrespect for someone with Tank's credentials, and fan following the snub seemed unjustifiable. However, Davis's criticism of the boxing establishment goes beyond award ceremonies. His feud with Turki Alec reflects his broader discontent with the direction boxing is taking. Al-Sheikh's response, offering Davis a pair of gloves instead of Ferraris, ignited a war of words. Davis didn't hold back, accusing fighters who agreed to fight in Saudi Arabia of prioritizing money over the integrity of the sport. He dismissed the Saudi events as lifeless spectacles, highlighting the small crowds and lack of atmosphere compared to the electric energy of a major fight in the United States. "ISO, where I'm from, be America." Tank proclaimed, emphasizing his belief in his domestic star power.
Sent to me 2 Ferrari to play in Saudi Arabia. I said to him, we will send you 2 gloves if you want to play in Saudi Arabia. That's it.
These comments have sharply divided the boxing community. Some critics have accused Davis of being bitter and jealous, particularly as the Saudi boxing scene continues to grow with significant financial backing. Saudi Arabia has managed to lure top fighters with lucrative paydays, turning the kingdom into a major player in the sport, from Tyson Fury's battles with Deontay Wilder to Anthony Joshua's career revival. Saudi Arabia has hosted some of the biggest boxing events in recent years. Tank's refusal to participate has led to accusations that he's simply unable to compete in this new globalized arena.
We don't have to, again, sell out soul, as they say, for money.
Quite a way to put it.
However, others like Tim Bradley see Davis's stance as a courageous stand against the increasing commercialization of boxing. Bradley's comments were unequivocal in their praise of Tank's authenticity. "That's why I respect Tank," Bradley said. "You've been showing me you're a real one. I like that." Bradley admired Davis for refusing to kiss the ring of Turkey. Sheikh, even as other fighters, including Shakur Stevens, have embraced the opportunity to fight in Saudi Arabia. Bradley's remarks added a layer of complexity to the controversy, as he seemed to favor Davis's approach over that of Stevenson, a surprising stance given Bradley's prior praise of Shakur.
Well, they say Turki Al-Sheikh is not with the cherry picking. We're not paying fighters who cherry pick. So why is he willing to pay Canelo so much money to cherry pick?
Bradley warned, however, that if Tank ever backtracked on his principles and accepted a Saudi payday, he would lose respect. "If you go back on your word, then you're going to lose a big fan, dog. And I'm going to come at you," Bradley stated, leaving no room for ambiguity. Davis's comments and Bradley's support highlight a broader tension within boxing, the clash between tradition and modernity. For fans, the sport has always been about legacy, honor, and competition. Fighters like Davis, who built their careers on domestic fan bases and personal connection to their communities, view the Saudi influence as a betrayal of these values. The massive paydays offered by Sheikh and his team are seen as a shortcut, appealing to fighters who prioritize financial gain over the love of the sport.
See Turki Al-Sheikh doing this. A lot of people are speculating that this was the signal to get the fight to end, but let's be real, the guy's probably just annoyed that his plans for an AJ versus Tyson Fury fight are probably down the drain, so he wanted that camera off him quick.
But critics of Davis argue that his stance is hypocritical. After all, Davis has never shied away from big paydays himself, and his extravagant lifestyle, often flaunted on social media, is a testament to his financial success. They question whether Tank's refusal to work with the Saudis is truly about principles or simply a reaction to being overlooked. As fiery comments about the small crowds in Saudi Arabia and the fighters who get their kicks in Riyadh could be interpreted as bitterness rather than moral high ground. Moreover, some have pointed out that Davis's stance might be limiting his own career opportunities. As boxing continues to globalize, Saudi Arabia offers fighters a chance to reach new audiences and secure life-changing earnings for fighters like Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Miles.
What Riyadh season do with the big promoter and big fighters, show us who's the real fighters and who's, in the last year we changed the map. And there is a lot of fighters.
Refusing to participate, Davis risks being left behind as the sport evolves. The criticism has not fazed Davis, who remains steadfast in his beliefs. His refusal to compromise, even at the expense of potential earnings, has endeared him to fans who value authenticity over opportunism. For these supporters, Tank's outspokenness is a breath of fresh air in a sport often dominated by corporate interests and political maneuvering. However, not everyone is convinced. Detractors argue that Davis's rhetoric is undermined by his own actions. His demand for Ferraris, while intended to make a point about his worth, came across as excessive to many observers. If Tank truly values principles over money, why make such extravagant demands in the first place? This apparent contradiction has led some to question the sincerity of his stance.
Your Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh, sent Top Rank an offer, and it was a good offer. I mean, a good offer, and he turned it down for whatever reason. He turned it down. It was for far more than the offer that
Saudi Arabia's growing influence in the world of sports, particularly boxing, has become impossible to ignore with their wealth and organizational prowess. They've hosted some of the biggest sporting events in recent memory: the undisputed heavyweight clash between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury in Riyadh is a prime example, along with high-profile cards like Matchroom vs. Queens Bears 5 vs. 5, of events yet wildest. Expansion has received praise for its grandeur. It has also sparked heated debates and criticism, especially from outspoken figures like Tank. His sharp remarks about Turki Al-Sheikh, the chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, and his skepticism toward the proposed unified boxing league have added fuel to the fire. Saudi Arabia's new venture to establish a $4 to $5 billion boxing league under its public investment fund has sent shockwaves through the sport, aimed at unifying fighters, promoters, broadcasters, and sanctioning bodies. This league promises a complete overhaul of boxing's fractured structure.
And it seems like I'm saying this a lot these days. It really does. But that might be the best card I've ever seen. Big up to Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh. All respect to that great man.